Have you ever had an imaginary friend who popped up when you needed them the most? Well, that's exactly what happens to Jackson, the main character in Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate. But sometimes, even the most creative imaginations can't fix real-life problems. Today, I'll be taking you through the story of Crenshaw and sharing my thoughts on this intriguing yet somewhat underwhelming book. Crenshaw follows the story of a 10-year-old boy named Jackson, who's facing something no child should have to. His family is on the brink of homelessness. His dad lost his job, his mom is juggling multiple part-time jobs, and the financial strain is becoming too much for them to handle. The fear of losing their home and living in a van again, as they did when Jackson was younger, is hanging over them like a dark cloud. Jackson is the practical type, a kid who prefers facts over fantasy. But things take a strange turn when his old imaginary friend, Crenshaw, comes back into his life. Now, Crenshaw isn't your typical imaginary friend. He's a giant talking cat who first appeared when Jackson was much younger and helped him through a tough time. Now that Jackson's older, he's trying to be mature and logical, so Crenshaw's return catches him off guard. What does this giant cat want now? And what role will he play in Jackson's life this time around? As Jackson navigates his family's financial troubles, he's forced to confront emotions he'd rather ignore. He feels the weight of responsibility, the uncertainty, the fear of homelessness, and the emotional distance between him and his parents. And in this emotionally charged environment, Crenshaw shows up as a reminder of Jackson's lost sense of wonder and imagination. But here's the thing. While Crenshaw offers comfort and a way for Jackson to confront his feelings, he doesn't exactly solve any problems. Instead, he's more like a visitor than an impactful force in the story. So here's where I felt Crenshaw missed the mark. The concept is undeniably strong. Blending real-life struggles with the magic of an imaginary friend is a fantastic premise. But in the end, Crenshaw's role in Jackson's life feels too minimal. You'd expect a giant talking cat to make a bigger splash, but Crenshaw's appearances are sparse. And when he does show up, he doesn't have the emotional depth or influence you might hope for. It felt like there was so much more potential for Crenshaw to help Jackson truly work through his emotions, but that never quite happens. Another aspect that left me wanting more was Jackson's character. He's portrayed as overly practical for his age, a little too serious, and this makes his interactions with Crenshaw and the world around him feel somewhat flat. For a 10-year-old dealing with such heavy issues, I felt like his emotional journey could have been explored more deeply. And while we do see him struggle to open up and share his feelings, the slow pacing of the story makes this emotional development feel a bit underwhelming. In the end, Crenshaw does introduce younger readers to serious topics like poverty and homelessness in a gentle way, which is definitely a positive. But if you're looking for a more engaging and magical experience with Crenshaw, you might find the story a bit lacking. It's a book with great intentions, but it doesn't quite deliver the emotional punch or depth that I was hoping for. So, that's my take on Crenshaw by Katherine Applegate. The concept of an imaginary friend during tough times is one we can all connect with, but for me, this story didn't fully live up to its potential. What about you? Have you read Crenshaw? What did you think of Jackson's journey and Crenshaw's role? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more book discussions and reviews on Lit Loom Tales. Until next time.